Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you have a great day today. And you have you been ready for our new topic, which is about the access. And yesterday we were talking and mentioned the difference between access and so today we are talking about another topic, or today we are continuing with the access, and we will go deeper. However, because you didn't took anything about access in first cohort, so that's why maybe we go like a bit more deeper and this like explain things more, um, let's say more detail. But still, you are experts, so you have to go and check by your own for some of the things which is gonna be required. And for sure, in the exam, you will see things that we didn't talk about it in the class, but still it's required on you, or maybe we are putting it in our handbook, but during the class we are not mentioning because we have no time for going that deep. So please prepare yourself and try to read the handbook fully and try to use them, because we didn't give you just for fun. It's something that the questions and the homeworks and the midterm exam and also the final exams, it will be all about those things which is in the handbook. Therefore, try to read them. Well, we said that database or access database is something different, and we are using access here under the topic or under the type of relational database, because we know that the relational database has like many softwares, but we are just using the component of MS because this is what we have it in our course. So yeah, what is MS Access? MS Access is a data base software that um, its base is the relational database. This database has four objects that um, we are going to use it during our course. And these objects are the tables, the queries, the forms, and the reports. So when we are seeing the table, when we go to the data entry and sorting data and storing data, is going to be all in the form and the tables. So these two are more for the purpose of entering data and storing data. And when we are talking about analyzing and retrieving the data, we are more using the queries and reports. Especially during analyze, we are more focusing on this too. That's why we have to start, or we have to learn it step by step, and each one separately to understand them fully. But in the very beginning, we are starting with the table because the table is the base of all the database and all the things that we are taking later, because without a table, we cannot do anything. Therefore, um, today we are starting with the table. So when we are talking about table is sort of object that stored and um, contain the information that we are entering to our database. So let's start from the very beginning and see how we are dealing with these informations. Well, as you see, I opened Access from my computer, which is one of the component of MS or Microsoft. So here I see the type of database that we can use. Now we are just going to the first one, or let's say the second one, which is going to be our first step, is a blank desktop database. We are just double click. Sorry, my mistake. I just did it quite fast. That's why I have this issue. Let's go to new blank. Oh my God, what's going on with me today? We have this. Then after we click in, it gave us what we want to name this database. We will name it. First, before naming, we are just choosing the place that we want to put our database in. So I'm just putting into drive S, and then access here. This is for the morning. I create this one. So you're gonna have another one. First, DB afternoon. Then, okay, now I will just say create. So when I press this one, it will create the database for me. And first thing I see it here is the table. As you see here, it's written table. But for your information, the table that being created here is not ready for use. So we have to add columns for it, and later on entering the information that we want. So when we are talking about table is contained two parts. The first part is the horizontal, which is the rows, and the second part is the vertical, which is the columns. So here in Microsoft Access, we don't call them row and column. They have different name, and the cell or the place where we are filling it with our information has another name as well. So be careful, because during the exam and also during our sessions, we are mentioning these words quite a lot. So you have to know about them, and you have to be familiar with those information, which is for the columns, we call them fields. For the rows, we call them record. And the intersection of the row and the column, or the field and the record, we call them cell. So now, first you have to know that the information that we are entering into the record. So when we finish a line of record and we went to the second part, automatically the data will be saved, because access is at automatic save. And this is because, like, when someone is just entering data, sometimes they just forget to do save to the data, and they just enter in data. And if in any case or in anywhere the computer went off for any reason, so you won't lose the information, or you won't lose the data that you entered, except if you didn't finish the record. So here you have to know that we have records, and the records has to be done, then the database will save it automatically, and we just close it without saving them. But if we did any sort of change in the design or in the table, we have to do save before exiting. And now we will experience those things while we are doing the database. Well, also, when we are talking about database and we are talking about the records and the fields, we have to be careful that we cannot say it like in one field we can enter two different information. No, it's not allowed, because in each field you are allowed to enter a single information. So that's why under this field, which is going to be the heading of our table, you have to choose what you want to enter into this field, or under this field, what which type of data you want and which type of information you want. Now, after we knew that the fields are just taking one sort of information, here comes the second part, which is each information that we are entering to our database has different type of data. So the data type is variety here, and each of them are working separately and differently, and each of them have different, or if each of them has different um, structure and different properties. That's why we have to know how to deal with those information. Well, I think now we are ready to move on and check the um, database that we have and add fields to our table. So normally how we are doing this, we are just clicking here and then choosing the type that we want. For example, here I have name. Then I'm coming here, I have something else. Okay, because I have to go here. Then coming back here and add something else and name this one as gender. Then what else we have? Maybe we will have number as well and name this as age. So yeah, we can do it this way, or we do it another way, which is coming to here to this corner and clicking here onto the view. And then we have datasheet view, which is now we are on datasheet view, or we can just move to the design view. So let's try the design view and let's see what we will see. After clicking, it first asking me to save the table because I didn't save the table. I just like by default, when I open the SS file, it just create this table without saving it. So I have to save it. So what I will name this one, I will name it first table. Then, okay. Now I have the table. So here I see there's some sort of data type, which is first one is just written auto number. When we have auto number, it's just like filling by default. So I don't need to type in the numbers. I just do enter, or I'm just using the arrows, or I'm just using the tab to move from one to another. And then the auto number is going to be filled automatically. It doesn't ask me, or it doesn't need my help to fill this uh, record for me. So I have just to this cell for me. So I have just leave it as it is and then move to the other one. So the second one, as we see, is written short text. Short text, it means that we have a small amount of text, let's say a limited number of text that we want to enter to the cell. That's why we are using the short. As you know, that's a name. So name is just like few characters, so we don't need to have a long text or long integer. That's why we are just using short. Also here, we are just using short because we have male and female, so there is nothing else. Here we have for the age, we have number. Why? Because number is something that we are entering the information to it. And yes, we need to have number here. So now what I will do, or I will just click here on the view and it will just take me to design view, or again, I'm just clicking on this arrow here and then move to datasheet view. Now let's fill this few forms, this few cells that we have under the fields of name, um, gender, age, and so on. We will see different fields later on according to the data type. So now I'm filling this one with Ari. I'm using the arrow, the side arrow just to move, and this is male. The age is, let's say 25. Without anything, I'm just pressing and then it will take me to the second record. So now we fill the first record and now the data being saved automatically. So if we are closing the database and then open it again, you will see this information exist without even asking my permission to save it. So it will save it automatically as the number is added automatically. So now, as you see, I'm not filling this cell, I'm just leaving it. I'm just filling the next one, which is the second cell next to it. I will just say this is a girl, so her name is Bana. Then it's a female. She is 22. So I see now the number being increased automatically without even entering any information to the cell. So this is why we call it auto number. Auto number is mean like you are like the machine or the system or the software is just like adding the numbers automatically without getting back to me. Well, let's go back to design and add some more field to our table. So I am just clicking here, just taking me to the design, and now I'm adding what? Adding salary. So here we took before in Excel that for salary we have to use currency. So what we are doing, we are just coming to the data type and picking what? Picking currency. What else we have? Let's say we have start day. So for start day, because we have a day, we have to know that here we should use date and time. Then, because now I made change in the table, so if I want to just go to the datasheet view, it will stop me. Why? Because I didn't save it. So any change in the design, I have to save it. It's fine. Now save and I could add more information. For example, here I will add 500 starting day, or I could pick from here. Picking a day from here, for example, 1st or 2nd of February, or I just like after filling this one as well, I could just type is 15 March 2021 and so on. So yeah, I could just like do it this way. And let's have another one. Avan. It's a female. Her age is 28. Her salary is 1,000. And then starting day is 1st January 2020. So just like I'm just entering the data and it will just change the information that I entered to the system format. That's why we have it this way. Well, if I look at the information that I entered, I have 3 records. I have 3 records and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns or fields. 3 records and 6 fields. So yes, if I want to move from a record to another, how I will do it, or I'm coming here, look at the cursor. When I'm going down, this is the cursor. What you call it mouse, it's not a mouse, it's a cursor. Just look at the cursor. I'm just like moving from one to other. I could just go to the first one. I could go to the last one. If I'm in the first one and I want to add new record, I will just click here on this new. Then I will move on and write Salem, some mail, then 23, 800, started 15, May 2020. Yeah, you could do it this way. So now I see how I could add information to my database or adding data into the table that we created. Now, if I want to add extra information to my table or extra fields to my table, what I will do, again, I'm going to design. And from here, I choose the data tab that I have. We used auto number, which is here. We use text, short text, long text. You could just use it while you have comment or you have not. Well, like you are writing a paragraph into this field. So here I don't need it. That's why let's move to what? Let's move to yes, no. So let's see what will be the question. Are you graduated? So yeah, I'm asking you if you graduated. So first I have to save it, then going back to the datasheet view. I see here a checkbox is not active yet. I have to choose according to the people. So I see that the first one is graduated. No, she's not graduated. Yeah, graduated. This guy is not graduated, and then this is graduated. This guy is not graduated. So just the females are graduated. Normal like this, it's happened. So let's go back to the design, and now I'm adding what else? I'm adding the Oli object. What is Oli object? Oli object is a photo. So again, Control S to save it, then go in here, going to the cell under the field of photo, then doing right click. Before doing right click, I remember that I didn't yet. So I'm doing right click and insert object. After I ask for inserting object, I'm just choosing the bitmap image. And here I will take a photo of someone that I know. You don't know. Hopefully you don't know him, but I know him. That's why I'm just taking a photo of him. But you cannot take a photo of him because you don't know. So this guy, something like this. So this is the guy that I want to take a photo of, and I did. Now I see the information is here, the bitmap image. So it's being saved inside the database within the table. So if we have a form, I can review this information or retrieve this information. But now I don't have something to retrieve the information. That's why I'll just leave it as it is until I will go to the time when uh, I have took the object that we are using for retrieving the data. So now let's add something else. This is an lady, so I have to take a photo of this lady. And because it's up to me, so I will shave her head and I will take a photo of her after shaving her head. And don't ask me why. It happened again. Yeah, she just shaved here. And let's put her head in the middle. Yes. And now adding some things as a yes. So yeah, she's quite happy with the shaving. So yep. Now we have two photos that we put it into the table, and voila, it's simple like this. So let's go again to the design, and this time I want to add what I want to add: hyperlink. So for the hyperlink, I could just say I have a web site and I want to add. So what I will do, I will say Control S, then go into Datasheet View. Now I'm coming to the cell under field of website, then right click again, hyperlink, edit, hyperlink here, then I can choose the website I want. You see from here. So I will get the address, www.google.com. I'm just using this guy. So the URL is here. The address I could just write search text to display. Click me. I dare you. Yeah, is it true? So here we have the link, and if we just click on it, it will just take us to the search, but because it says that this information is not secure, so the protection is just asking us. So it's fine. I could just bypass this, or I just leave it because I don't need to open it. And I'm sure that it's gonna open while the cursor is changed to the pointer. It means that it's just entering some information. So here again, I do the same thing just for you to now. I'm just coming here, and this time I will add an email. So what to show? Email. And what's the email address is me at you.us. And the message is going to be, or the subject is going to be, let's say, hello world. Yeah, something like this. Okay. So now we have an email. If you are clicking, it will take us to the email box, or it will take us to the apps which are exist on our computer. So simple like this. Now let's go again to design and add some more field. Say this time I'm adding attachment. Here I will write files, because I could just add as much as I want. Save it, go back to datasheet view, and here again right click and then manage, add. For example, I want to add this file. Now I see it's been added. Or I could just select a bunch of information, this one, and this one. Open. What? I just add few of them. Yeah, as we see, it's like a bunch of information here. And I also say, okay, it just tells me that be careful that you have 5 files attached to this table. It's totally fine. It's my data, so I know how to deal with it. But for you, you have to be careful and check them before accepting submitting them, or before closing the door behind you. So yeah, now let's move to design again and add something else, which is calculate. So for calculate, I could just say here, I want to calculate the salary and I want to calculate the tax, multiply by 0.15, then say, okay, now I'm just naming this field as a tax. Then again, Control S and go back to the datasheet view. Here, automatically, it's just calculating the tax for me. So let's say if I change the salary or this information I want to change, um, is 900. I see here straight the value of tax is changed because we already decide that we want to calculate this amount of the data, which is 0.15 of the salary. That's why 0.50 of the salary is equal to, let's say for the first one is 75, and for the second is 135, and the third is 150, and then so on and so on. So yeah, this one is also doing automatically as we saw within the ID. So when we are just calculating some sort of information or some sort of numbers data, and we want to add or remove or do anything with it, we will just do it this way and it's gonna be automatically. So if I want to make changes here, I will go to design, and instead of salary multiplied by 0.15, I will say add $50 for each of them. So now I will say Control S to save it and then go back. Now we see here is 500, and when we add it, it's become 550, and then this is 950, 1050, 850. So yeah, normal like this, you can just add information. Yes. So what we did, we just want to calculate. So when we choose calculate, there's two way, or you are just coming here, you are not picking anything from there. You are just coming here, open this edgy bracket. You see it, magnifier. I will show you now. Where's my magnifier? Ah, yeah. So yes, here after I choose the calculate, I open this edgy bracket and then choosing the let's say the field or the cell that contain number, because we are doing calculation, so it has to be number. So let's say I'm adding age. So this is the age. When then we will close it and then add 2 years for them. Then Control S. Now what we do is too big. Yeah, we are just going to the design view, datasheet view, and we see here the age. Here is 25, now is added 2 years, so become 27, and this one also become 24, 20, this is 30, and this is 25. So you are just adding information or adding or removing or multiplying according to your question or according to the information that being required from you. So this simple, you can just do it the way that you want. Now let's go back to the design view, and I want to add something else. Do I have it here? No, I can just add it from here. So now I know that the gender is like, we have two type of gender, which is male and female. And if there is someone, for example, transgender or something else, we can just add others for it. So now we have three. Why I have to just write male, female, or other all the time? If there's a way that I could do it simply within drop down list, so let's go to the drop down list as we have it in Excel. So here, what is the name of this drop down list? Is called Lookup Wizard. So here in Lookup Wizard, after we choose the Lookup Wizard, it will show us two options. The first one is just something that we will use later on. So we are just picking the second one. Don't forget the second one. Then next, here we are adding the information that we want. For example, male, then female, and others. Next, we don't want to add any extra information. That's why we are just limiting to the list. And later on, we will take if we want to add extra information according to the use of wizard that we're gonna use it later. So let's just keep it simple like this and finish. Now, Control S, going back here. If I'm coming here, I see there's a drop down list here. So for the next one, if I came here and I want to add new information, let's have another name. Just give me a name. Pinar, female. So I'm just picking from here. Female, she's okay. She is 20. And because she's too young, that's why we are giving her 500. And when she started first uh, March 2020. Yes, she's graduated. Yes, she did. Um, Adding a photo. Yes, we are just coming here, insert object, bitmap image, and then here I can just choose something like this. Yeah, I do it this way. I don't know why. So yes, I'm not a good photographer indeed, but it's fine. I just take photos as I want. So yeah, this is a Chinese version of Nar. That's why we just add this one, and then let's go to here. We want to add something, some information. So what we will add, let's say, a link here. Hi, and we don't need to say hi. The address, we should bring it from here, I guess. Do we need? I don't think so, but let's do it just like this. So, yeah, I don't want anything from you. Thank you. So I'm taking this and put it here. And yes, so just bring the URL and I could just give an address here. It's just MSN website. And this the things to display. Why I changed this? It's quite weird. Yeah. So what I will write here, MSN. Yeah. Okay. So it's just showing me MSN. So the file that we will add it to Benares file or Benares record is going to be this screenshot of her work. And then, okay. Now we see that we add to her page some extra information or some extra years, and it's fine. So yeah, it's simple like this. So we show how we can use the drop-down list for our information or for our data and make it easier for ourselves while we are entering data to the field and fill in the records that we have. Super. So now we know that how to and congratulations for sure that now you learn how to make your first table and entering the data and using the data types that we have it in uh, Microsoft Access. So this is, I think, it's enough for today, and let have some time for practicing. And tomorrow we will take some extra information about the properties of each of these uh, data type and then look at them separately. Thank you so much for your participation and by participating, and wish you all the best. And I will leave you with Mama Sabnar, and you could just like ask questions or review the things that you want or do the practical together, and have a great day. Bye bye.